Wow.
I woke up in beast mode. All right.
I leave.
Ian's here. Alex, bye.
Here.
Oh, Alan, hello.
Oh, here.
Oh, okay. I think we all know who's next. Everybody say it with me. 안녕하세요.
I'm young.
Yeah.
Hey, he said everyone join in.
Ian just butchered it. Ian's
Ian's
like, yummy something, oh. All right.
Yeah, I can speak different languages, guys.
Okay then. Where's Uma? Ian, where's your girl at?
I don't know. And she's not my girl.
I meant like your home girl.
Okay.
Calm down, Turbo. You're not that lucky.
Yeah, I know.
Well, oh, jeez. William Gaeta is here. Henry Grassick is here. Hello, Eleanor. Let's see. Absent. So you guys are lucky. There's no quiz today. Oh, there's Miss Late. Attendance absent. Lance.
Wait, there's no quiz?
There's no quiz today. No, I have too much to get through.
Hallelujah.
So when I'm coming through, so basically when I'm going through the operators, literally, what am I going to quiz you on? You should know them, but it's better to quiz you when I actually have something to apply them to. Okay? So there's no quiz, not today. Okay. Logan. Sup, brah?
Here.
Okay. The chosen one. How we doing, Dylan?
Pretty good.
That's awesome. I see that a comb has not worked its way into your hand at all. So
I don't own one.
Athanianos, and of course the lady killer himself, Getty Woo. All right. Gary, you still got a girlfriend?
Sure.
Oh, it doesn't sound like. Is there trouble in paradise?
Maybe. No.
Take
I
her-
don't know.
take
What
her-
the what?
Take her to a fancy restaurant. I hear they're opening up a new Burger King.
Me too.
All right, I need everybody to open up Eclipse and get ready to go. We have a lot to cover today. Today's a pretty stacked day. Give me 1 second, because I'm gonna invite I'm gonna invite Miss what's her name, Miss Koss. So hold on. Okay, so in terms of actual, like, this is like, if statements are your bread and butter for programming. Okay, they are the be all end all. All right. So this is basically, with the if statements, a lot of you have worked with if statements before. Now, this is one of the heaviest things that you can be that you can be tested on. Okay, hold on a second. All right. Okay, so if statements are basically statements of consequence. The reason that we spent a chapter learning about operators is because if statements rely on an expression that is either true or false. So we learned about all those logical expressions yesterday, okay? Now the structure of an if statement is very, very, very simple, okay? So I can say, all right? So let's say, where's my Syria? So for example, if I just say int x equals 3, okay? I can then say, let's say, for example, we're testing to see if x is greater than 5, okay? I can say if x is greater than 5. Now, those of you in Python last year, you guys remember that you had to put a colon and that indentation matters. Java, completely different. It does not matter, okay? The indentation. However, we use open and close curly braces, okay? Now, the signature, listen to exactly what I'm saying. The signature of an if statement is this portion right here. And on a test, now I'm going to get an error right now. On a test, if on a test, if I tell you, give me a signature of an if statement, you can write conditional statement. That is okay. Okay, that is completely fine. If conditional statement, that is the signature. This whole thing, the entire thing, brackets included, is called the skeleton. This is the signature. This is the skeleton. For the main method, this is the signature. Oops, come on. Ugh. Come on. This is the signature. This is the skeleton, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by, we wanted to see if X is greater than 5, okay? So our conditional statement is as follows. If X is greater than 5. If X is greater than 5, what's going to happen is that gives us access. Basically, this is like a door lock, okay? Being true is the key. So if this is true, you gain access into here to where the code is, okay? So for example, if I said if X is greater than 5, I'm going to say X is larger. And if I run this, it is false, okay? This is false. If it is false, it completely skips over the entire if statement and just goes to the next line, okay? Very simple. A lot of you have done this before. Very, very simple, okay? Notice that you can only have an if statement, all right? I will see a lot of you do this. For some reason, I don't know why you do this. Take a look. This is a common error. Okay, believe it or not, that is still legal. Okay, that is still legal. Okay, because, and this is why, this is legal, but it's wrong. Okay, so you'll notice now X is larger. Okay, is X larger? No, it's not. Okay, but what happened was this. Okay, take a look, and this is going to be the example. I can write an if statement without brackets. But let's say that I have this sentence here, okay? Let's say I try to fool you guys like this, okay? What is going to print out?
Both of them?
No.
Nothing.
One of them?
Only one of them. Here is the rule. If you have no braces, only the first statement gets attached to the if. So when you have one, so it's basically like this, okay? That is how you have to examine it. So for example, if I have no curly braces, oh, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Okay, so the rule of thumb is it's only one. So right now, this is only going to print 1 because technically X is 3. So it's not greater than 5. It's false. So it skips over this. This is just a random print statement. It's not attached to anything. So this will just print out. If I change this to 6, this is true. Okay, and then it just prints out the random print statement. They will go after you on this, on the AP. So will I. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, we did a test to see if X was greater than 5. X is larger. Okay. Now, for the most part, you will see this, okay? On the free response, you will never see an if statement without curly braces. You will on the multiple choice, okay? Remember that. Now, if x is greater than 5, system dot print line x is larger. What if I wanted to say, no, x is not larger, x is smaller? I could say else, and then I say sys out, x is smaller. An else attaches to an if. An else is basically like saying none of the above, okay? You have option A, B, C, D. It's kind of like E, none of the above, okay? And by none of the above, this is the other thing that I get people doing. They will do this. They will do this. X is less than 5. An else does not have a conditional statement, okay? Hold on one second. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back, okay? All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so, all right, so we have the else. Again, the way that this works is I say int x equal, oops, what am I missing? Oh, this is the error that I get, okay? Saying else x is greater than 5. Else does not need a conditional statement. Let me repeat that. Else does not need a conditional statement. All right? So we know if and we know else, okay? Perfect for two question or for short two answer options, right? Okay. However, what if, for example, I flipped a coin, okay? What if I flipped a coin? Here is your little mini program that I want you to do right now, okay, in class. And I'm gonna only give you 3 minutes to do it, okay? You're going to have a variable that holds a coin, heads or tails. Okay, I'm gonna have you figure that out, what the options are, okay? Then print heads or tails. Okay, hey Siri, set timer for 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Your timer is set for 3 minutes.
Okay, you have 3 minutes, guys.
We just create a variable and determine the.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Jesus. To help you concentrate, I will make soothing sounds.
Please do not make soothing sounds.
Soothing sounds
Please
of
make these soothing sounds.
Sorry about that. You have exactly 1 minute left. Oh, we're doing great on time. Perfect. All right, here we go. So again, this was just, the question was, have a coin, store whether something is heads or tails, okay? Then print out what it's going to be. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an int variable called coin. And what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I'm gonna set this to int, I'm gonna cast it. I'm gonna use math.random, okay? Now, math.random, what am I going to do here? What's probably the best way to do this? How many sides are on a coin?
Two.
Two. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply this by 2, and I'm going to make a little side comment right here. 1 or 0 heads. 1 will represent tails. Okay. Simple. Then what I do is this. I say if coin equals 0. We know it's a head, okay? I can just go ahead and say sysout heads. Now else works the exact same way when there is no curly brace, okay? Tails, all right? So now I run this, tails, heads, heads, tails, heads, tails. How many of you got this? Okay, perfect, great, okay. Glad to see that, all right. Now, the key thing is, so this is basically what you guys want, okay, this is basically what you guys need to do, all right. So now, this is an easy equation. I'm gonna leave this up here, but let's say I was having you guess a number. Let's say I'm having you guess a number. Okay, I can either, let's say it's a guessing game between 1 and 5, and the number I choose, first one I choose, let's say my number is 3. Okay, if I choose 4, what is my number to what? Dylan?
Did you say that one more time?
Let's say my number is 3. Okay, and the first guess was 4. My number is 2. 4 is higher than 3. I know it's a big vocab word for you, Dylan. Okay, let's try
Sorry,
this.
I totally didn't process what you said.
I get you. That's because you're a freshman. It's okay. Now, let's go to one of my senior sponsors, Getty Woo. Okay. Now, Gary, Getty Woo. If I choose 2 and my number is 3, 2 is too. If 4 was too high, 2 is 2.
Low.
Hey! And we'll go to our Greek master of disaster, Thanos. If I choose 3, I am.
I'm sorry, I'm having problems. With my Eclipse, I was trying to fix it, so I didn't hear what you said.
Jeez. Okay, Uma, if I choose 3, then my number is.
In between 2 and 4.
My number is correct.
Yeah.
So in a guessing game, do I have 2 options? No,
One.
I don't. So let's create a guessing game really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a scanner. Equals new scanner system.in. Okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use this guessing game to introduce another element of the if statements. Okay. And we're going to say that we're going to do another int rand equals int, and we're just going to keep this number low for testing purposes. Okay. Math.random times 3. Okay. So that means it can be 0, 1, or 2. Okay. It can be one of those 3 numbers. All right. So what we're going to do is we have the random number and we're going to ask them to guess a number. I'm going to call this int guess. And I'm going to store this guess using kb.nextInt. Okay, boom, done. Is everybody up there so far? Does everybody see what I've done so far? Okay, good. Now, oh shoot, whoops, crappers. I am not having a good day. All right, so. Sorry about that. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start my if statement. If guess is greater than random number, I'm going to say sys out and I'm going to say too high. Okay. Now, right now we've already learned that there's one to use the else when you have 2 options. If you have 3, what's the thing that we want to do? We want to use something called an else if. Okay. So,
Sorry, Martinez.
Yes.
I just wanted to interrupt you to say what grade of a teacher you are.
You know what? That
We
is
appreciate
You're a
you so
very
much.
good teacher, Mr. Martinez.
that is very nice of you. I
You're my
appreciate
favorite
it.
teacher, Mr. Martinez.
We
Yeah.
love
Yes.
We
We love you
appreciate
so
you.
much.
Oh, guys, that is so uncalled for. With an administrator present, that is so sweet of you. All right, so we have our else if, guys. So, all right, Dylan, since you didn't process the last one, so if the guess is high, if we've already covered it as an if, we use an else if. Think of this as a multiple choice question. If is option A. This is option B, and we can keep going. Basically, what else it does is it allows you to chain link on top of everything, okay? And I can have as many else ifs as I want, okay? Now, else if, guess is what? Dylan.
less than Rand.
Very good. I don't care what people said about you, Dylan. I knew you could do this class, okay? So sys out too low, all right? Now take a look. I've already shown you before. This is also important. Do I have any errors here? Do I have any errors? If I run my code, you will see, guess a number, I'm gonna say 2. It was too high. So it either means that number was 0 or 1, okay? Did my code work? Yes or no? Okay. You can use only an if. You can use an if or an end on an else if. You can use an if and end on an else. You can end your equation like this. Else, what is the only other option? Yubin.
Wait, you are correct.
Very good. Okay, you are correct. So else is, again, what did I say else was like, Alex?
Well, else is like everything else.
Or like none of the above, right? Okay, so this would be A, this would be C or B, and this would be your E, none of the above. Okay, so, but here's the thing. I will get some students that will do this. You can't start on an else if, okay? You can't start with an else, all right? An if can be by itself. You can end it with an else if. You can end it with an else. These two are linked to the if. So remember that. You will see code. Oops, I hate when it does that. Sorry about that. You will see code that just looks like this. That is fine. You don't always need an else or an else if, okay? So remember that, especially when we start doing our free responses. You don't always need an else or an else if, okay? Now, we're gonna get into nesting, okay? And nesting is basically if statements inside of if statements. But before we do that, I wanna introduce you to a concept that a lot of teachers don't teach you, but this is something that a lot of professional programmers use. So I'm gonna comment out my code here. I'm gonna call this guessing game 3 options. And then I'm going to, this one is coin toss with 2 options, okay? Now, I want you to take a look at this, okay? So we've learned if, else if, else. Ian, is that your mom? Tell her no free tickets to the show, okay? Now, so I'm going to create a variable here. Int a equals 4, okay? This is something that can be convenient, all right? A lot of times you're going to get a question that asks you to store an answer into a variable, dependent on the conditional statement, okay? You can go through using an if statement. It's fine, it's okay, and stuff like that. But you can also kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I went over whether in X, we basically printed out whether X was higher or whether it was lower, correct? Do you remember that, the first one that we did? Okay, so int a equals 4. I can do this, string ANS, which is basically short for answer, equals, and I'm gonna say, so let's say A is greater than 5, question mark. A is greater than 5, question mark, okay? This is what we call the ternary operator. A lot of people do not know it. A lot of people don't use it. Let me repeat, I am not teaching you to program for a test. I am teaching you to be good programmers. This is a operator that is used in C++. It's used in Swift. It's used in Python. And it saves a lot of time because it's actually slightly more powerful than an if. So string ands, here's my conditional statement. The question mark tells the computer, okay, you're activating the ternary operator, okay? So if A is greater, this basically on side A goes what happens if it's true. I'm gonna say A is greater. I separate it by a colon and I give the option if it's lower. B is, or A is lower, okay? And then that is it, okay? So basically what is gonna happen is A is greater than 5. Ternary activates. If A is greater, it will be stored in the string answer. If A is greater, it stores. If A is lower, it will be stored in the answer. So take a look. If I do sys out and I say ANS, okay, right now A is 4. A is lower. If I change A to 6, A is greater. Okay? This is not tested on the AP exam. You bet I'm going to go after you on my exam. Okay? You need to know this. It is a great programming tool. All right? They don't even cover this in the book. So make sure that you have this down, okay? Again, it's called the ternary operator. The format is conditional statement, question mark, what goes in if A is on, if it's true, what goes in if it is false. Who can tell me what the weakness in a ternary operator is based on what we've learned? What's the one downside?
You can only have two options.
Who said that?
Alex.
Alex, good job. You're right. Okay. If I have a series of things where I need to constantly test, does it make sense to have else ifs?
Oh.
Absolutely. Okay. Do I only have to use a string?
No.
No, a ternary operator can be used for anything. Okay. This is also, if you think about it, you can instantly run the ternary operator when you're asking a user a question with a scanner object, right? Right? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that being said, we're gonna cover our last thing, okay? What time does this class end? 1:55, right? I'm good on time, right? All right, so the last thing that I'm gonna cover is this. So if you guys remember yesterday, we were talking about getting into the club, right? Okay, right? Do you guys remember that? And we were talking about there's the smiles, okay? What it takes to get into the club in LA, all right? You had to be of age and you had to have some cash on you, right? Right, Thanos? So we did that kind of, the way that we structured that is we structured it in a way that just won't print it out true or false. So let's say I'm gonna move the scanner to the top, just for right now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the user a question, okay? We're gonna say, how old are you? All right? Logan, finish this for me. The type of variable, the name of the variable, and how I would finish it out.
String.
Nope.
Wait, no. Int.
How old are you?
Int.
Int. Okay, what's a good variable name for it?
Age.
Very good. And what do I use to store an int?
Next int.
Very good. Okay. Then the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we'll keep it simple again. We'll keep it in as an int. Uma. I'm going to ask the user how much cash you have. Okay, here we go. What would be the type? Again, we're storing it as an int. What would I call it? What's a good name to, what type of variable is this?
This would be int. Actually, no, it could be a double, right?
It could be,
Because
you know
if it's
what?
cash.
It could be a double. That's true. Okay, very good. And what would you name it?
I'd call it cash.
Bingo. And what would we use to store it?
Could do
Which method?
KB dot next double.
Bingo. Very good. Next double. Okay. Yay. Good job. Okay. Now, woohoo, woohoo. All right. If you tell anybody that I complimented you, we're going to have a problem. All right. So
Okay.
the next thing we're going to do is rather than what I did yesterday was we just did a print statement. We did true or false. Now we're going to take these two variables. We're going to use if statements. So yesterday I said if we used the and operator. So we said if cash or age was greater than or equal to 21 and cash was greater than or equal to 20, okay? We would just tell them, welcome. Else, this out, bye, okay? So as you know, Martina is in a club in Los Angeles. I've never seen this line. Just kidding. All right, so the next thing, so I've got system out to print line, welcome, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, great. Now, what we're gonna do is this. Take a look. I've kind of condensed things for you, and the way I did it was simple, but you will see a lot of programmers do this. Now, this makes more sense, but they'll do this. Okay, if age is greater than or equal to 21. If cash is greater than or equal to 20. Okay. Actually, I can leave it like that. All right. So what they're doing right now is this. So let's say, oops, what happened? Where did I go wrong? Oh, oops. Okay. So let's say I run this. How old are you? I'm going to say 21. And I'm going to say that I only have $20. Okay. Bingo. Notice that down here it says welcome. Let's say I was only 20. This would ask me that, and then I'd go to 22 or or $1. It would say bye. Okay. Now, the key thing, guys, is this right here is what we would call a nested if statement. Okay. This is a nested if statement. You are going to see nested if statements now all the time. Now, notice the way that I used my nested if statement. I used it like this. I could also use it like that. Remember that rule about the lack of brackets, okay? All right, so we have this nested if statement. This is called nesting. You will use this a lot. Now, obviously, the first way that I showed you was a lot easier, okay? But the nesting this is like the key thing that you have to have a concept of, because you're going to use this a lot. Even for my Python users last year, I didn't really go into nesting. Okay. So this is something we're going to go on. I'm going to really beat the if statements into you, because if you have this solidified, it's one of like 4 major concepts in programming that will make your life easier. Okay. So we will have a quiz tomorrow. Your homework, I will post online, okay? Your homework will be, by the way, it was a typo. If you guys did it yesterday and did the 1 through 13 all, my bad. If you just did the odds, you're not getting marked off. That's what the original assignment was, okay? Okay, so we already kind of did odd or even. So I'm gonna have you guys do Chapter 9, 1 through 20 evens, okay? 10 questions.
I had a
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
So for the nested if statements,
Yes.
I remember when I was like using Python mixed with like another proprietary language for my AP project last year, I was able to like write or like if, and then the conditional statement was like an or statement, and then I'd have a nested if statement inside of that with like different options based on the or. Can you
It's
do
a
that
little
in Java?
You cannot. It's a little bit
Okay.
different, okay?
Okay,
Hold on,
that was
somebody-
my question.
All right, so, and again, guys, we covered a lot today. So, wow, that's weird. Okay, so that being said, we covered a lot. I can tell you this. If you have questions on the ternary operator, let me know, okay? I'm free tonight. I don't have a lot going on. At 7:45 tonight, I will be on Zoom. I will be doing an optional review session for this, okay? And what we'll do is I will actually give you some questions that we will go over as a group. If nobody shows up, great. I'm figuring about 7:45 to 8:30. Try to be there by 7:55. If nobody shows up at 7:50, I'm gone. Okay, I'm not going to waste my time, but I am devoting my time. So if you show up, we can go over it again just to make sure that your notes are solidified. Okay. All right. I know what you're thinking. Wow, you're such a devoted teacher, Martinez. This is true. These are all true statements. Okay. So if I see you at 7:45 tonight, great. If not, make sure that you know this. You will have a quiz tomorrow. Understood? And I will have your tests graded no later than Sunday. It takes a little bit longer with the free response, but still, you think about it, 5 days, that's pretty fast for an AP test. So, all right, take care. I will see all of you later, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.